Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin from channel Short and Cocky. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Good to see you again. I just want to tell you a couple things to expect from this video. Not only will you learn how to install laminate flooring, but you also get to see what I look like when I first wake up in the morning. My hair was a mess, but it's all good. I changed outfits a couple times because it took me 2 days to finish the floor, about 10 hours. There's a work light in the room I was working in, so it's bad lighting. There's some shadows, camera's moving a lot, but I mean, you'll be able to have a good idea on how to do laminate flooring after watching it. So I guess that's all that matters, right? Alright, I'll let you get to it. I got all the carpet ripped up, got the carpet padding ripped up. Right now is the hard part. Okay, tools you'll need for this part of the project. For pulling up the carpet strips, for pulling up the staples, pretty simple. You just want to get you a little pry bar like this. Have a good hammer. And some pliers. I found the easiest ways. Now, there may be specific tools for this, but these work just fine. You're going to need scissors and a cutter for your underlayment. Alright, you're going to need at least 2 tape measures. I mean, you can do with just one, but 2's good. One to have where you're cutting and one to have, in the room. Standard hammer, square, straight edge square, speed square, or like a sheetrock square would be good too when you have to cut the long pieces. This is your flooring kit. You got the dead blow hammer. This is your snug bar, so you can tap it and snug the pieces into place. That's your, I don't know, like a cushion, kind of a cushion, so when you don't break the flooring. And your floor spacers, there's a lot more than that in the kit, but you want some floor spacers. Of course, you need a saw. I just used a circular saw. That's about the basics right there. Best way to do these carpet strips. You might want to get at it right away and just start pulling it up. But no, all you gotta do is start on one end. Little piece at a time. And then the whole thing comes up. So that's that. So pry bar, hammer. Best thing I found for staples. Let's try to get right around. There. And pull it right up. So once you do that, you get your whole floor cleaned up, get everything swept up, make sure your floor is nice and smooth. That way you won't have anything sticking up that'll mess up your floors. You're going to want to do this for any kind of hardwood flooring that you might be putting down, whether it's laminate, linoleum, hardwood, anything. But if you're putting down more carpet, you can leave the strips. Oh, be very careful too. Got nails all over this thing. Okay, this is the fun part. How are you doing, little girl? What? Tell him. See, this is how you do floors. This is how you do floors. Alright, now we got all the staples pulled. Got everything up, and you want to clean up. I like to sweep everything up and then run the vacuum through just to get all the last minute dust and everything. Okay, now that you have everything cleaned up, all your floors, staples, everything are pulled, you're going to want to get your underlayment. And this is what we got here. Now you see here, I've got a whole bunch of pieces from past projects, and Titus wants to be in the middle of everything, so there he is. So I'm just going to use this little piece here to fill that in. Get that in there. Stick it in there. Okay, so next you want to take your measurements, you know, for your little spots, your tight spots. I'm just going to set that high. Alright, so this one is first, we're going to start from the front to the back. So this first one we need a 35-inch piece. The next one we need 30. Let's see, it's pretty seamless. All except for that little piece right there. But we're going to have a divider over top of that, so from here you want to go to the inside. So from here to where I need there is 26.5 inches, right? And I need it to go underneath more, so I believe that was 10 3/4 inches, and then that way it'll go under here, but I gotta cut 1.5 inches here, you know, for the rest of it. And that way we'll have a nice straight line, and we can just run full point. So first I'm gonna cut the 26, and then I'll do the rest. Alright, there it is. Okay, now I want to show you what I'm doing here for the register, for the vent. Now for this piece I just traced a little line, you see where it needs to be cut. Okay, so I got my 2 pieces cut, and what I'm going to do is just score. You're going to have to do it a few times. Just keep scoring that until eventually it will just snap off. And there we go. See here, that's finished. Now remember, you always want to finish a row before you start a new one. Like I got that piece started down there, which is fine, but because when you start locking these together, and let's say you were to have, excuse me Titus, excuse me, thank you. If you were to put another piece on the side of this, well then you still have to fill this gap here, and then it's hard to get the pieces in to lock together when you have to work in the middle of them. So always finish a row first. And this is why you can never have nice things. You're a terrorist. Look, you're so cute. Alright guys, are you helping or hurting? Helping or hurting? You don't know, do you? That's okay. Alright, my next piece, I need to go right here, but as you can see, there's a little problem. How you do it. Okay, and we are done with the floor. Now all that's left is to put the molding, you know, the shoe molding, but that's about what it'll look like. See how the register looks? Everything's nice and where it should be. Alright everybody, and that is how you do laminate flooring. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you again soon. And now Once you get your first pieces and your starting point, you're going to want to use these spacers, and that'll keep the floor from moving around while you're trying to connect the other pieces. You can finish everything, finish all the tightening after you get pieces locked in. You know, as you go, get a couple planks in. You know, you lock them together, and they'll lock together a little bit better, but I'll show you. So, get your starting point and put your floor spacers in. And you got your tapper here, you know, snugging everything up when it's all done, you know. Alright, let me show you how these lock together. So you got your tongue, and on the opposite side is your groove. So always keep in mind what side you're cutting from or starting with, you know, because I made that mistake of like cutting off the tongue end when I needed the tongue end, or you know, whatever, vice versa. But just always keep in mind what side you're using. You lock these. You always go at an angle like that, and as you set it down, they'll settle and they'll lock together. Now, you see, like, it's not sitting flat, and that's fine, because as you get more weight, it'll lay flat, you know, and eventually everything will lock together into place. Those lock together the same way, and sometimes you can slide these right together also, but I always find for a good connection to lock them like that. I noticed something, and before I got too far, figured I'd stop, tell you all about it so you don't make the same mistake, and I'll have to correct it. But okay, so you see, we got all this done, right? Now here's where I stopped, because you probably don't want it to look all the same, and you see how that all ends there. Well, then that means there's going to be one line right down the middle. You actually have to cut a couple, like cut a couple planks in thirds and cut a couple planks in half, and that way you can stagger your lines so it's not all straight. Like you see, I know the lighting's horrible out here, but see, like we got a line there, you know, so the planks aren't lining up perfectly, because it will look silly. Okay, everybody, so that's the end of the video, but there's one thing for sure that I want to tell you. When you're doing your flooring, make sure you leave a little bit of space around the edges against the wall, because as the floor expands and contracts, you know, you don't want to bow in. If it's too tight, it will bow in, so make sure you leave a little space. You know, I'd say probably like, you know, that much should be fine, 1/8 of an inch, as long as you have an 1/8 of an inch. And you might find that some spots are bigger than others, like you might have more of a space, and that's fine. Like I show you in this video, there's two ways you can do it. You either take off your bottom molding, get your flooring underneath and reinstall your molding, or the easy way is you just cut right around your molding and then put shoe molding, quarter round molding over the cracks, you know, and that'll up, give it a nice finished look. Should be fine, I think. I don't know exactly how carpet's put down. God damn, boy. Like shit. Here's those. Oh, you riding it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, and it's gonna.